So the average weight loss in the last 27 days has been 7.7 pounds. The person that has lost the most has lost 9.8 pounds. Welcome to episode number 65 of Life Without Cravings. Last week, someone asked me in the comments if I was going to share the strategies that I'm using with my group Losing Weight. And I said I would, and I will do that at the same time as we have a look at what happened to each person this week and what strategy we used to get them to start losing a lot more weight again. And I'm also going to reveal some midway photos that I am sure that you're going to enjoy. So this week has been really interesting. So the average weight loss in the last 27 days has been 7.7 pounds. So we're well on track for losing the weight that we want to lose. But the spread is quite large though. So the person that has lost the most has lost 9.8 pounds. And the person that has lost the least has lost 4.2 pounds, which, by the way, it's a pretty good weight loss. It's a very sustainable, very safe weight loss to make. And I have some theories. We have run into some issues that I'm going to discuss with you when we get to the stats. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, you will be able to see the graphic of how much weight this person has lost. So this is the person that has lost most weight for now, which is 9.8 pounds, and also the person that lost most weight in the first week. This person stalled for quite a long time in the middle. So if you look at this and you think about how your weight loss journey looks like, if you give up at this stall, if she had given up, she would not have got to where she is right now. She probably would have gone back and started eating again. I told her to go and do a refeed because we identified that she probably had ignored her hunger signals a little bit, thinking that she shouldn't be that hungry because she wasn't that hungry previously. And all of a sudden that hunger started to build up, which is a really common sign when you are undereating or depriving yourself in some way. And when that happens, one of the most important things that you can do is that you do go and get a refeed. Fill up on energy, on nutrients, and just prime your body with all of the goodness that you need to let your body know that it's safe to start losing weight again. So this is what we did. We did a refeed. We told her to go and eat as much food as she could for one day. And then going from there, if she was okay with it, into a fat fast. We discussed doing a 2-day fat fast. She felt so amazing that she chose to do 3 days. And this, both the refeed and the fat fast, and then refeeding again after that, she has lost weight throughout all of those days, which means that you don't have to be scared of refeeding. Yes, some people do gain weight when they refeed. I often do. But it's not about the calories or the energy that you take in. It's about the hormonal response that you're getting from the food that you're eating and from what you are doing. And for her, right now, both refeeding and fat fasting is getting her to lose weight, which is great. If you look at the second person here, we had similar issues with the second person, if you remember from last week. So we decided on a very similar plan, but we didn't execute as quickly. So this plan also included some fat fasting, but on separate days, and refeeding. And I know that this person has only done 1 day of fat fasting so far and then refeeding. You can see the weight is going down, but it hasn't started going down as much as the first person. But this is definitely going in the right direction. We have broken that stall that we had again by just switching things up a little bit. So I definitely think that this was the right strategy for this person. And since they have a couple of more days, I guess you're going to have to wait until next week before we can reveal what's going to happen because we don't know what's happening yet. And here is the surprise. I mentioned this last week that we had a very specific plan for this person. We made a very specific plan day to day what this person was going to do. And things are moving fast now. This person is up for anything. So I put them on a 2-day water fast in the middle of all of this and some refeeding. We don't forget about feeding the body as well. We can't just be doing lots of fasting. And the amazing thing is that they dropped 3.8 pounds after the first day of water fasting. The second day they water fasted, they gained 0.2 pounds, which is nothing. And now I'm waiting to see what the results are going to be when they are refeeding. But this shows me that there's absolutely nothing wrong with the metabolism. It just needed a little bit of a push to wake up. Now, you might have been waiting for this graph as well, which this one is the one that I was talking about last week. Just looked a little bit too good. It's too smooth. Everything was just going in a straight line, straight down. And I said, I'm wondering when the weight loss stall is going to come. That was this week. And I have been waiting for this to happen. But this is actually really, really good news. So this is the person that just didn't feel hungry, started fasting intuitively, but they have now eaten several meals per day for the whole week, I believe, without actually putting any weight on. This is the really, really good news. This means that their metabolism is running. They are able to maintain the weight loss they have achieved without having to do any sort of starving or any more fasting or anything. Now they can just maintain where they are right now. And next week, we're all going to go into 2 24-hour fasts, whether that be fat fasting or water fast. It's going to be up to them, depending on their preference and their hunger. So I have a feeling that the weight is going to start shifting down again for this person, but we shall see. So this is super good news, and I'm so happy for them because this is exactly the response that I was hoping for when they started eating more. Now, here's the other surprise. And this is the one I wanted to talk about today. This person has gained 1.8 pounds since last week. So here's what happened. They decided to start exercising, which is, by the way, is great. But whenever you exercise, you cause local inflammation when you're damaging your muscles, which is essentially what you do when you're exercising, you cause local inflammation. Inflammation means you will retain some water in those areas and you will most likely put on some weight. Now, I know this person was exercising quite hard. They got sore, which is a sign that something is happening. There will be inflammation. We are also measuring. We're taking the measurements and body measurements to make sure that we are shrinking the fat mass. Because sometimes you might not lose on the scales, but your clothes are getting bigger or your body is getting smaller. And what I can tell you is that there has been a small reduction in the body mass, which is telling me that this is very likely to be down to extra water stored in the muscle areas where there is local inflammation going on. Because if inches are coming off of your hips, you're definitely moving in the right direction. There is nothing here that tells me that this person isn't still losing weight, but we just don't see it on the scales yet. So I think that as soon as this person gets used to the exercise, everything will normalize and the weight will come off again. So this is what has happened and what we have been doing so far. Now, I can't give you a specific plan to follow because each and every person that is going through this program has a slightly different plan for what to do. Some of them don't even have plans. They have looser plans. Some of them want more structured plans. And in some cases, I have wanted to make it more structured because I want to have that little bit of control to make sure that this is done right when they are getting stuck. So when I'm deciding what each person should be doing to lose weight, I'm looking at the whole picture. I'm looking at the blood sugar, I'm looking at the ketones, I'm looking at how their weight responds. And in some cases, I do even look at their macros, how much protein they're eating, how much fat they are eating, are there any carbs, are there any specific inflammatory foods, how often they eat. There's so many variables that is really hard to just pinpoint and say, this is what's going to work for everyone. I think you need to look at all of those things together to decide what you should be doing next. So there isn't a one-size-fits-all situation going on, but there is like one template that you can follow and which I am happy to share with you. So if you want to do this and you want to start shaking things up a little bit and get your metabolism going, and you want to start losing weight, but you're not, even though you think that you're eating the right things, the first thing that you can look at is, are you eating the same way at the same time every day? And are you eating the same macros, the same amount of calories roughly? If things looks the same every single day, your body's going to get used to that and it's going to respond in a certain way. And right now it's responding by you not losing weight. So we need to change something, and you can pick anything that you want to change. So what I would recommend is that you change one thing and you start doing the opposite of what you're doing right now. If you are high fat and you've been high fat for a long time, you go high protein all of a sudden. If you eat once a day, you start eating 3 times per day. If you're eating 800 calories per day, I want you to eat 2,500. If you're eating 3,000 calories per day, you do fasting. Like, go to the extreme opposite, because your body won't know what is happening and it's going to have to adjust its metabolism. To play around with the feasting and the fasting and maybe meal timing, how hungry you are, how much you're eating. You don't have to do intuitive eating unless you want to. Intuitive eating is awesome, but there is a place for manipulation. If you want to overfeed and then fast after that, that has a place as well when you want your body to respond in a different way, when you need to shake it up a little bit. You just go and do those things and you experiment, you do different things. It's all about keeping your body guessing at what's going to happen next, because that will keep the metabolism on its toes and ready to react to whatever it is that you're doing. And now I promised you some pictures. So this is our second participant. She has lost 8.8 pounds, which is really, really freaking good. And you can see how much has come off of her midsection. And this is what makes me the most happy, and why I wanted to share these pictures is because she doesn't have a lot of subcutaneous fat, the fat hanging over so much. It's more just on the inside, which is the dangerous fat. That's the visceral fat that is stored around the organs and what's actually much, much more dangerous and could cause a lot of different health problems. So if you're someone who has a bit of a round look, which is often very common in men, but it happens for us women too, and in terms of health and health benefits, losing the visceral fat around the inner organs is actually what's going to give you the most bang for your buck. It's the most powerful thing that you can do for your health if you have a lot of it. A lot of visceral fat can lead to insulin resistance if it's sitting around your pancreas, which then leads to type 2 diabetes. It can also increase your blood pressure if it's sitting around your blood vessels, for example, and make them very stiff. And the thing with visceral fat is that it's also causing chronic inflammation. And when you have a lot of inflammation going on in your body, you are very prone to other inflammatory diseases, which is pretty much all modern diseases that we have. They're all correlated with inflammation. And one thing that I want to add is that it can reduce your kidney function. So yeah, we are doing really freaking good things here. And it's about so much more than just looking good naked, but that's what most people want. And you're getting that as well, because this is working. And if you want to stay on track with your diet for the rest of the year and avoid gaining weight, especially around your midsection, because we don't like that, and you feel like you're struggling with this because of the current holiday season that is upcoming, where we have Thanksgivings and Christmas and all the things in between and New Year's dinners and God knows everything, I have a 2-hour workshop this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to check it out, or if you want to sign up, the link is down in the description. You just need to click it, sign up, and you're going to be in. It will be fabulous. It's going to be very much hands-on. You're going to get a workbook. We're going to go through that workbook. We're going to work everything out for you. We're going to make sure that whatever your problem is, we are going to sort it in these 2 hours together. And then you're going to have your plan. You're going to be able to just sail through the holidays, and you're going to do it with confidence and knowing exactly what you want to do and feel really freaking good about that decision. So if you want that, if you need that, go and sign up right now so you don't miss out, especially if you want to be there live, and let me help you. That was all for now. I will see you again next week. Bye.